if you don't know, if you never read The Great Gatsby, it's like during the Great Depression or on the tail end, it's like very rich people, what we would call billionaires, like living in largesse. So on the night he's going to starve millions of Americans to death and deny them their SNAP money, which the judgment came through that same day. A federal judge is like, you have to pay it. And he's throwing this party.
Looking at is a Great Gatsby party. This was a Halloween party, great, fun, but just the notion that he had a Great Gatsby party on Halloween night, just before the SNAP benefits went away for 40 million Americans, and that people are suffering. Again, he argues that it's the Democrats' fault that there's a shutdown, and there's a legit argument that it's pox on all their houses, but this imagery was noteworthy, and we'll leave it there. And what you're
hold on a second. I've got some imagery because this is not doing the shit justice. I have so many clips. I have a whole S-load of these clips that are just, you won't even believe it if you don't see it. So SNAP benefits are being canceled, and someone said he's just paying half. I mean, that's what is being said. I don't know. And I'm not on SNAP, so I don't know. Did people get half their checks or not? I don't know if people have received money yet. I don't know. I know that he can find any of the money he wants, and anything to the contrary is a lie. This is the party, though. Here's some clips from Trump. So just understand, people are starving to death, and this is what Trump is doing.
They pale in comparison to what.
It's just the picture in a bathroom that annoyed me. But I love this. Patriot Takes posted. If you want to see some of these clips, Patriot Takes, which I believe is part of the Midas Touch Network, posted like so many of these videos and clips. I love this one. Sorry, MAGA flat earthers. Trump has a globe prominently displayed at his Palm Beach golf club. That's too bad for the people that can't even figure out that the earth is not flat. Picture if Joe Biden did this. Thank you so much. I love wings. I was like, where did these wings come from? It's like took a second to register because I kind of feel like I should naturally have wings, and then like for a second I was like, that's me. That's nothing extra here. Thank you for the wings. I love them. Can you imagine if Joe Biden did this? Imagine. I will never get over MAGA. You guys, I mean, honestly, like I said, I don't punch down. You guys are so dumb. I will never come at any of you. That's why, truly, it's part of the reason I stopped debating. I don't, people making money off debates are just punching down. MAGA's, you guys, I don't punch down. I punch up. and you guys are idiots. Like, people make thousands of dollars a month debating, punching down on MAGA. Like, don't waste time having conversations with idiots. They have no idea what they're talking about. Like, imagine, though, think about, they're like, Joe Biden is riding a bike and eating an ice cream cone. How dare he do those things while being president? How dare he ride a bike and have a shirt off, sitting in a chair at a beach? I will, MAGA, okay. And I know I will probably say this 1,000 more times. Every single thing you guys said, you were wrong about. Remember the whole, and oh God, there's no point anymore. Project, he never read, he said he never read Project 25. Well, I think 49% of it has been enacted now. You guys are idiots. Everything you guys have said was not true or he would never do has happened. And the ones of you, the 32%, according to polls, that are still with him, because every independent has left, the sane ones of you have left. The ones of you who are still there, just say it. Just say, hey, I'm an insecure, idiotic, racist bigot. I don't know how to find my way in this world, so I need to punch down on others so that I feel important. That's it. You guys are cowards. And you will never catch me punching down on it of me unless you come after me. I am reactive. If you come for me, then I will finish it. And that's exactly how I feel about MAGA. Like, you guys throw rocks and hide your hands. And also are idiotic. But truly, keep punching down while this guy does this. This is what your president's up to. While you're like, can you guys believe Joe Biden rode a bike around the block and had an ice cream cone? Why isn't he doing his job? Why isn't Joe Biden doing his job? He's riding a bike and eating an ice cream cone. And then I saw him taking 20 minutes to get some sun on the beach without a shirt on. How dare that man do that? Millions of Americans were being starved of SNAP. And again, I just want, because you guys have no idea how the government works, Trump can keep funding SNAP even during a government shutdown. It has happened many times before. You don't need to let poor people starve, just like you can keep paying the military. Trump has spent billions of dollars terrorizing brown American citizens and making up lies about it for for-profit prisons. All of this stuff can easily happen. Oh, here's another thing. You know, you can swear in Adelita Grijalva in a pro forma session, just like when 2 representatives were elected in Florida during a pro forma session, they were sworn in. Every lie you guys swallow, because truly, keep swallowing. That's what you guys do. I personally would not swallow anything for Donald Trump, but you guys are giant swallowing cowards. Like, nothing that these people are telling you is true. Sorry, I can't watch anymore. I don't know if I can take any more of these videos. It goes on and on. I have hundreds of these videos.
I ordered
They pale in comparison.
Sorry. I actually have that video, but oh, I can't watch. I have to get, there's so many. Again, if you want to see them, look at Patriot Takes, or actually many people posted them. They are so disgusting. Oh wait, I think I already played that. I have to skip around because I have so many clips. Should we do the Kash Patel thing? I don't even know if I have the energy. I'm so angry at so many people in the government. Have you heard about the Kash Patel? situation. Oh wait, I'm gonna have to find this clip. Actually, give me a second. Wait, let me not pivot to Kash Patel. I'll get there, and I'll get to Nancy Mace like crying and screaming in the Charleston airport too, because I've seen that. I want to. Oh yeah, I should have played this earlier. So let me just show this because I saw it. I love Joy Reid. Joy Reid is a queen, Harvard graduate, smarter than Trump will ever hope to be in his effing life, whose show was canceled on MSNBC when Trump started controlling the media and demanding that smart minorities be taken off the air. Sorry, I get super annoyed about all of it. They basically like purged brown people and black people at MSNBC because Trump didn't like it. 6'3", 258, healthiest person ever. Some would say to walk there. Sorry, I'm sorry. I just saw that. That is hilarious. Yes, we do know Trump is firing on all cylinders, and it's just because one of his legs seems to stop working every time he walks upstairs, and it seems like his hands and now upper arms are turning black slowly, and he had an MRI and won't say why. I mean, and literally every single day forgets words, phrase, like cannot form a sentence. But again, this goes back to my Biden thing. Remember when Biden wasn't okay? That's how I know. And like, I'll swear this till the end of my days. That's how I know that MAGA is dumb. You guys were convinced Joe Biden couldn't run the country while he was running it more efficiently than it had ever been run before, recovering the best in the G7 from a worldwide pandemic. You are still Trump has cratered most of it, but what is left of this economy that is not trash is thanks Joe Biden. Thank you, Joe Biden. Literally. And that is what happened. And I'm not saying like a lot, because things happen in an economy like a pandemic outside of president's control. But same thing happened. Like George W. was up to absolute nonsense. The Enron thing, right? This is what happens. Republicans get in power, just do a bunch of illegal shit, create monopolies, commit fraud. Then a Democrat comes in office, and Americans, and by Americans I mean MAGA idiots, and that's the 32% of you that are still dumb enough to not understand that Trump is robbing us, or like, this is this black man's fault. No, it wasn't Obama's fault. Oh my God, I have the best oh my God. I actually have the video, which I think would be better, but now I'm like, I don't know if I added it to a presentation. Oh my God, I can't believe I forgot about this. I'm so disappointed in myself. Oh, I found it. Okay, hold on. I'm just going to add this, and we'll see if, like, I forgot that I found a man that MAGA will listen to. I shouldn't just say this because I'm just a woman with a tiny brain and the melanin, you know, it's too much. They can't hear me. I forgot that I found a man that could explain this to them. You got to find a white man, you know, who looks a little bit country that can explain to MAGA that they're idiots. Hold on. I have this somewhere because it's not going to add to the cloud fast enough, but it's here. Oh, this is going to be MAGA. Share this live with your friends. Don't worry. You're going to be dumb no longer. Well, hopefully fingers crossed. We're going to get you right. You're going to be able to figure this out. I got a man with a beard who wears denim to explain to you why you're dumb. You're welcome. Also, you don't deserve my kindness. Okay, I found it. Oh, this is good. And I know everyone's going to ask. Let me just oh, yeah. I should take okay. Everyone's going to ask now. It's Rough Cut Media Network. Like, I'm going to... Hold on. I'm literally going to write this out and pin it because I know what's coming. Everyone's going to be like, who is that? This is a TikTok video. So you can follow this guy. if you want. Why is this not network? Okay, I'm just gonna pin this now before I have to hear the like. Who is that? I love him. I do too. I think this could be the time, MAGA, where you get it. Like, we have a chance. This could be the day where you guys stop being stupid. We don't know, but there's a chance. And I just want to explain something, because so there was a club at my university called Iconocrats. Iconocrats, if you have never heard of that, are people who they're not part of like a specific, or actually the real ones, and I don't know if he is, but like the ones at my college, they consider themselves a political party, but they don't put forth candidates. Iconocrats are people who vote based on math, which MAGA, I know. That's not you. And Trump could never have grifted and done what he's done so far if you guys voted based on numbers, right? And like iconocrats are people who look only at mathematical economic plans and decide which ones are best for them, and they vote accordingly, which is ironic because you guys can't vote for a black woman. Every financial firm in the country, Goldman Sachs, Chase, said the only economic plan that makes any sense for this economy and this country is Kamala Harris's economic plan. And anyways, I think you're going to like this or I don't think you're going to like it, but here's a man who's not a woman to explain to you why you're dumb.
The number one question I've gotten on my videos is, well, who did you vote for? And the answer has clearly surprised many of them. I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. I'm what's called an iconocrat. This essentially means I vote solely on which candidate has the best economic policy for the working class. But there's no iconocrat party, so who am I actually voting for? Today, I'm looking at the actual record from 1980 till now of Republican and Democratic presidents. Who's winning for your wallet and who's falling short? Why should you care? Because macroeconomics touches your daily life. Jobs, wages, prices, savings.
Now, he should explain the difference between macro and micro for MAGA, because they already lost. They don't even know what that meant, but...
And even though the president doesn't control everything, patterns do emerge once you track decades of data. One big finding, according to the studies, and you can find all the links to my sources in my comments, the economy tends to perform better under Democratic presidents on growth, job creation, and unemployment than under Republican ones. That doesn't mean Republicans are always bad or Democrats are always good. Context does matter. But the patterns give us something worth talking about, especially when so much campaigning spins the "we'll fix the economy" line. Let's dig into the numbers first. Here are some headline stats. On average, real inflation adjusted GDP growth under Democratic presidents is about 4.3%, while under Republicans it averages around 2.5%. Job creation is markedly different too, roughly 2.5 times faster under Democrats than under Republicans. Even if you go all the way back to Truman, the 7 Democratic presidents oversaw the creation of 70.5 million jobs, while Republican presidents only saw 29.1 million. Those Democrat presidents were in office 429 months, adding 164,000 jobs a month, while the Republican presidents were in office for 475 months, averaging just 61,000 jobs a month. Unemployment. Under Democrats, the unemployment rate tends to fall. Under Republicans, it tends to rise. That being said, each Democratic president since 1980 inherited a recession, which typically has significantly higher rates of unemployment. Which brings us to recessions. 10 of the last 11 U.S. recessions began under Republican presidents. The significant ones here are the stock market crash of 1987, a Bush senior recession from July 1990 to March 1991, the housing crisis under Bush in 2007 and 2008, and the COVID recession, which began on February 20th, 2020. A full 9 months before the election and 11 months before Biden took office. So what gives? Before you reach conclusions, let's explore what these numbers mean and what they don't. First, correlation doesn't equal causation. Studies say the stronger performance under Democrats is not obviously because of more expansionary fiscal policy or because Democrats inherited better economies. In fact, most inherited terrible economies. Next, what this means for you. If you're an everyday worker, you might think, does it matter which party's in charge? If the pattern holds, yes, on average the economy is doing better with one party than the other. But remember, averages hide variation and crisis years. Take, for example, under Ronald Reagan, a Republican from 1981 to 89, the unemployment rate fell from 7.5% to 5.4% during his first term, yet he inherited a severe recession and oil shock. By contrast, under Bill Clinton, a Democrat from 1993 to 2001, you had a long run of expansion, job creation, and falling unemployment. So, what do you take from this as a voter, as a worker, or as someone just watching your next paycheck? A few implications. Don't buy the slogan alone. Saying you will fix the economy is much different than actually doing it. Look for how the candidate deals with jobs, wages, productivity, and investment, not just tax cuts or deregulation. 2, pay attention to how policy interacts with the global economy. Trade, tech, and energy shocks matter a lot. Number 3, look for structural trends. Are wages keeping up? Are new jobs real jobs? Are we factoring in long-term debt, inflation, and deficit risks? In other words, one party may have better historical averages, but your personal outcome depends on which policies they adopt, what global conditions they face, and how resilient your community is. That means stay informed and don't just rely on who I trust with the economy. Ask, how does their plan match the evidence and the track record? So I have always voted for Democratic presidents, but I've only voted straight Democrat in 2 elections, as far as I can recall. The reason I vote this way is that there has never been an econocratic candidate, and Democrats have had significantly better outcomes in economics than Republicans. Drop a comment right now. Which president do you feel got the economy right, and why? I'll dive into the replies.
I could mathematically dispute a couple of things he said. I know there's way too many smart people. I know he said a lot. Like, if you vote for and isn't it fascinating how people can correctly use the adjective democratic, but then get it wrong sometimes? It's fascinating. And I mean, not everything he said is correct, because like yeah, I could get into that, but whatever. You get the point. Look, I found a white man in a denim tuxedo with a cowboy hat and a beard, MAGA. Did you hear anything he said? I know you can't hear me when I speak, but this is a white man with a beard and a hat. So I thought maybe, and yeah, like it's so funny when I saw this, I was like, oh my God, because I used to, Iconocrats was a club at my university, and I was like, what the hell is that? Like, but yeah, it's people who basically just say, I don't hold any political affiliations other than the health of the economy, which I think in a lot of ways, like, I'm trying to think of the right way to say this, because I'm for people who don't know who I am, I'm pansexual, right? Like, I'm trying to think of a better way to say this. I'm sapiosexual. I'm attracted to people's brains and their like intellect. It doesn't, Republicans are generally just like angry and confused and like, what's in your pants? Like, me, I'm sexually attracted to people's minds. The last thing I care about is like genitals. So it's like, if I'm sexually attracted to your brain, then I'm just like, I'll figure the rest out. Like, that's the least of my problems. I just need a non-idiot. That's what a sapiosexual is, which generally falls under the category of pansexual. Okay. So yeah, I'm trying to remember where I was going with this. Oh yeah. I'm sorry. So, like, I say this because I feel like I need like the straightest, most like cis white male to say things to you guys, so maybe it will resonate. Sounds good. Thank you, Jake. Anyways, and everyone should look up Iconocrats, because I do think, sorry, let me expand on that more, because now I remember exactly where I was going. I do feel like, and MAGA, I know this is a challenge, and can we all tap the screen? Let's get to 450K as fast as possible. Also, share the live. I do feel like a lot of I want to say this the right way. I think a lot of us are manipulated by cultural issues. And I don't want to shit on religion. I really don't. But I'll say this. Religion, no more, there's not been a war that has killed more people since the Crusades in the Middle Ages. Christianity has killed more people. I mean, let's look at the Dark Ages. Let's look at the Spanish Inquisition. Let's look at the Salem witch trials. Like, Christianity just murders people. I mean, there's no other way to say it. I don't want to. So, I'm saying that because, in my opinion, I support freedom of religion. That's a part of the Constitution. I love freedom of religion, but I don't think we should vote based on that. I don't think we should vote based on any cultural issues, period. I actually think the only thing we should care about is economic policy. And the rest should just be a given. Like, and I mean, like, as in, hey, in America, we all have freedom of, freedom. You can be whoever you want to be. Every American individual has the right to self-actualize, or at least theoretically. Let's not worry about anything else politically. Because I think every American in this country would say, hey, I just want to be who I want to be, and I don't want the government interfering in my shit. I think everybody feels that way. The only thing we should care about is the wealth inequality in this country, or the economic tax plan that will, either help the average American or hurt us. And let me just show you. I was just thinking, I have some screen, because I don't have it memorized. Let me just find. I know I took a screenshot of it. Let me find it really quick. Ugh. Sorry, I'm starting to play videos. I know I have this. Oh, I'm not in my presentation. Let me go back. Robert Reich, who's like our unofficial cult leader. He's the former labor secretary under Clinton. He's a professor at an economics professor at UC Berkeley. Reich is spelled R-E-I-C-H. He's Jewish. It's not Reich. It's pronounced Reich. It only took us like a year to figure that out, to stop mispronouncing his name and associating him with the Third Reich. Okay, here we go. This is something he posted what day is it? 2 days ago. The 400 richest Americans are now worth a record $6.6 trillion. So understand that there are 400 people in this country that are controlling $6.6 trillion of wealth. The bottom 50% of America, which I'm included in that, is worth just $4.2 trillion. Thank you for the wings and the crown. When 400 people control more wealth than 50% of a country's population, we have a serious problem. And I could get more into that. I love Robert Reich. But that's the reality. As long as you are dumb enough, and MAGA, I'm talking to you to be like, I'm gonna monitor where people pee. I'm crazy. Listen, I just want to help you, MAGA. If any person, doesn't matter your gender, your sexual orientation, if anybody in a bathroom harasses or accosts or assaults anyone else, that has always been a crime. I'm sorry that you, for whatever reason, didn't know that and you get emotionally charged. Nobody can assault anyone in a bathroom. There's a penal code for that. Right? There's a penal code for child molestation, for 3PDOs. All of these things are illegal. The majority of sex crimes against children are white males in America who identify as such. So, I mean, I do think it's a problem, but the majority of that seems to be in the church, in your church, in politics. Yeah, it seems to be a problem with all of you guys. I don't know what's going on there, but look into it. But again, as long as you are dumb enough to think your job is to worry about women's health care, what I talk to my doctor about, or who I may or may not want to have sex with, or which bathroom people are peeing in. As long as you are dumb enough to concern yourself with that, we will continue to be robbed day in and day out. And that's why I wanted to show that video of this Econocrat guy. If we were all smart, the only reason we would vote would be based on whatever that candidate's economic plan was. And Trump never had an economic plan. I read Kamala's twice. I could almost recite it. It was 80. Actually, it was either 83 or 86. I might be confusing it with Biden, so forgive me. But it was 80 plus pages. I read it multiple times. Trump's plan for the United States was 16 pages, and it was a psychopath ranting about revenge and bigotry. And now we're in this situation. Now we're in parts of our, as Scott Bessent said on air on Sunday, where parts of our economy are in recession, labor is bad, the housing market is bad. So MAGA, you guys are so dumb. You have no one to blame but yourselves. This is your fault. And also, no offense, independents and idiotic Hispanic people who thought for a second that Trump wasn't a racist. I could go on and on of what the were any of you thinking? Like, can you read? It's fat. I'll never understand, like, Hispanic people, what is going on. Anyways, I want to play some Jasmine Crockett clips because we all know how I feel about her. She's amazing, but she makes some good points. So I have 2 Jasmine Crockett clips, and then I want to get into this, like, amazing speech Obama gave. Like, Obama's been stumping for Abigail Spanberger in Virginia, and I've witnessed Obama speak live. I know the power of an Obama speech. It's amazing to watch him. But I want to play 2 Jasmine Crockett clips first. Why can I not hear this? Wait, hold on. Let me just try another clip and make sure something hasn't happened to my sound. Ugh, hold on one second. I just need to play a different thing. Wait, what is happening? Hold on. I'm thinking. Let me check my... Where's my... What is going on? Is this connected to the internet? Oh, I'm so embarrassed. Please don't say it. Please don't talk to me. Don't make fun of me. I know. Please don't say anything to me. That was embarrassing. Let me just move on from it.
They know how to get rid of the filibuster when they want to. I am not telling them that they need to or whatever, but I'm just saying. Right now, they want to say, oh, it's the Democrats that are holding us down when, hell, we ain't been able to do much of anything, right? Because we don't have the numbers. But now they're like, oh, it's the Democrats' fault. It is not. It is not. I mean, you understand what the numbers are. You were supposed to be able to count. And part of counting is also making sure that you understand when you got to negotiate. You don't have 60 in the Senate. That means you have to talk to the other side. Guess what? Joe Biden didn't have 60 in the Senate either. But guess what? He never had a government shutdown. So for all the talk about Joe Biden being senile, Joe Biden being incompetent, and all the other nonsense, I just want to remind y'all that in the last 4 years, you did not endure a shutdown. In fact, this is the shutdown president. That's the only thing that he is very accomplished at. And listen, nobody can beat him at it, okay? When you run the tape on him, this is what he does. And as far as I'm concerned, and these are words that he has shared with us before, leadership comes from the top. So if there's a shutdown, it starts at the top. Let me tell you, this is his fault. Joe Biden knew that he needed to negotiate because we were in a divided government. He also knew that in his entire 4 years, he never had 60 votes in the Senate. So if you want to see, or if you want to know what real leadership looks like, Joe Biden was that guy. I just want to put that out there, as people felt away about his age, as they tried to act like he was senile. Somehow he managed to make sure that we didn't go into recession after the abysmal job that Donald Trump did the first time, yet now we're headed into a recession. And he managed to make sure that, like, we were actually growing. Our economy was actually getting better. I get that it was not perfect, but it was going in the right direction. Last time I checked, those grocery bills have not come down. But I digress. So that is that. So they could say they want to get rid of the filibuster and just go.
I mean, and I want to say again, if you can count, which we know that Republicans definitely cannot count, Joe Biden could count, right? There has to be some bipartisanship. You can't cancel everyone's health insurance. I mean, just cancel everyone's health insurance in red states. Like, it's not hard. I know. I love her too. Trust me. I met her once, and I'm telling you, I always tell this story. I met Jasmine Crockett. Like, I'm 5'9 3/4. She's like 5'3", 4. I don't know. I just never have seen someone move through a room and, like, people are just like, move out of the way. Like, I just can't describe it. Like, there's power, like, emanating off that woman. She's amazing. But anyways, just factually, Republicans have the majority of everything. The executive branch, the judiciary, the legislative branch. And honestly, I do think, like, Trump was thinking, oh, and truly, this is, if you ask me what I really think is going on, you remember, like, the firing, like, the first Friday of the shutdown where he tried to fire everybody? And they were just like, this is our chance. We're going to fire every single person that doesn't like us, and we're going to blame it on the Democrats. And then they're like, now we can starve the homeless and have more money to use for ourselves, and we'll blame it on the Democrats. And none of that shit has worked. Every poll says not a goddamn person on earth blames the Democrats for a thing. And now they're like, shit, like, we're all cowards with small d's, and none of us, we only punch down. We don't know how to stand up to Donald Trump, who's a literal coward. Like, narcissists are, and I'm saying this psychologically as someone who's read a lot, all the latest research on them. They're infants. Literally. That's where their developmental growth stopped, is infancy. They're infants screaming for their mommy. That's what they are. That's why they're so angry. And for some reason, none of all these Republican men, all these alpha males that claim to be alpha males, for some reason cannot stand up to an angry infant who missed his nap. And that's, I mean, that's the truth. They are like, everyone's going to blame the Democrats. No, mathematically, everyone's blaming you.
All I know is, no, sir, you will not get a third term. That's not going to happen. I mean, the Supreme Court going to have to find their big boy and big girl panties and do what's right. The Constitution is very clear, sir. And frankly, you never should have had one term. If I'm going to be perfectly honest, you were never qualified to be president of the United States, not once, but definitely not twice. And your incompetencies are showing. Your own people, yes, my homegirl, Marjorie Taylor Greene, is also very disappointed in you. Listen, you are a loser. And unfortunately, we all are being dragged down with you in your loser way. All I know is, no, sir.
She needs to be president. At least somebody can correctly identify a problem. And this is what I'm saying. And I want to say this because, like, when I say I'm obsessed with Congress, if you've watched the People's Receipts, you know I watch every congressional hearing. But the most telling part of Congress are the congressional aides who have, like, blogs and stuff you can read. Like, I want to say this because and I'm sure you've heard people say it, it's true. Republicans in Congress hate Trump. They think he's an idiot. They think he's a bully. They think he's a liar. but they have, I mean, you guys are alpha males. You guys are all cowards. You sit around and talk to the people that work for you about how you hate Trump and he's ruining your life and you're not going to get reelected. But not one of you is strong enough to say what this woman just said. Like, it's so unfortunate that it always just takes women to stand up. Like, man, you guys are always saying we're the inferior gender. Why are you guys cowards and idiots? I'm just so confused. Where are you? If you're so alpha, then speak up. Oh, and I thought this, the reason I was talking about this, she's just like, you're never getting a third term. I want to, wait, is this, do I have this video? Yeah. I thought this was interesting because while Trump is like idiotically and aggressively tweeting and being like, we need to get rid of the filibuster, I just want you to know that's a complete smokescreen. The Republicans will never get rid of the filibuster. The Republicans need and love the filibuster. It's how they create corruption and continue to oppress the majority of Americans. And I thought Robert Reich, the guy I was talking about, our de facto leader, the former labor secretary for Clinton and the UC Berkeley economics professor, was talking about like, hey, if Republicans do in fact end the filibuster, that opens a lot of opportunities for us.
When they asked him about a third term, which is, I was like, why are you asking him about a third term? But there's no reason to think that these things aren't on the table if, as long as he feels like, oh, I can just do whatever I want to.
Yes, he does trial balloons.
Yeah.
He says things like a third term. He waits for the reaction. If the reaction isn't strong enough.
And it hasn't been that strong.
What about on Truth Social?
And I want to be, and I've talked about this before, and I think a lot of people talk about it. That is what Trump does. He says outrageous things like, I'm going to take over Greenland. Right? He floats these insane ideas, and then the MAGA cottage industry of delusional, idiotic, alpha males on T-Gel are like, yeah, take over Greenland, right? And like, if they get behind it and if public support gets behind it, and he'll be like, no, that's just something I said. That's just an idea. I don't know. And then he'll be like, but other people are saying they want it, right? And he lets that support grow and grow. And nobody supports Trump's third term. That's the irony. He keeps being like, well, I don't want one, but I've heard a lot of people want me to have one. Well, I don't, other than creepy Andy Ogles, who, is like, hey, can I S your D? I don't think people want you. Oh, and Steve Bannon, excuse me. Steve Bannon does.
Well, who's been talking about the filibuster as one's king of one's regime does.
Well, he is telling the Republicans, the Senate Republicans, get rid of the filibuster. Now is the time so you can push through the budget. I think that the Democrats are just salivating over this. And I think the Republicans are scared. They don't want to get rid of this filibuster because they know that if the Democrats take over in the midterms or whenever at some point the Democrats are going to have the Senate, the first thing they're going to do is make Washington, D.C. another state.
Yes.
Free D.C.
Free D.C. They're going to free D.C.
And that means 2 more senators, Democratic senators.
Yep.
And this is the Republican.
When they asked him about a third term, which is, I was like, why are you asking him?
Can we all tap the screen and get to 500K and share the live? I just got a serious violation. Sorry, I just need to open I can only I'll monitor I appealed it, but I've realized the only way to tell what's going on, I have to, wait, oh yeah, monitor live. Sorry, I have to use my cell phone to tell what's happening. That was like that was a real one. Yeah, let's tap the screen, share the live, because I'm in trouble. Well, I appealed, but we don't. Wait. Oh, there it is. Yeah, appeal in progress. I was like, maybe it didn't have. I like gaslit myself. But yeah, that's the point. Like, let's get rid of the filibuster because everyone sees who Republicans are. You're not going to be in power. We're not going to. Oh, I'd like to think if And again, this is all dependent, I should say, on Trump and billionaires who have stolen all of our data, are using it against us now in facial recognition systems, allegedly, and whatever. As long as they are not going to fix elections, I don't think they will be in power for long. But I mean, I don't think they would have done all. Like, think about. Has anyone thought about this? Like Doge? They saved zero money. As a matter of fact, they cost us a lot of money. All we know for sure is they stole data. And what that was about. And like, you never hear about it. You do not hear a word about that shit. They just stole all of our data and we're just pretending that shit didn't happen. Well, hold on. Let me not to skip around, which I will get to the Obama speech, but I just want to show. This is a clip from which I reported on Rachel Maddow. Like, I was showing some when Rachel Maddow was doing the first 100 days of Donald Trump's presidency, and all of this data was being stolen. The whistleblowers were coming out, showing the graphs of like, hey, all this data has been exfiltrated from these agencies. Like, I just want to show, like, it's just a short clip of Rachel Maddow talking about this on Monday. Oh, God, hold on. Hopefully, I'm trying to refresh. I would appreciate not being banned from TikTok right now.
I wasn't here just on Mondays. I was here every night of the week for the first 100 days of Donald Trump's presidency. And for the very last couple of shows of those first 100 days, I picked out a few choice topics I thought were really worth focusing in on in the months ahead. Things I thought we should keep an eye on as Trump's second term unfolded. And so on the very last night of the 100 days, what was the last thing to think about that I left you with as the culminating thing of the last 100 days? Last night of the show, we focused on what are they doing with all of our data? Trump administration, specifically Elon Musk's Doge, was on this mad dash to inexplicably vacuum up Americans' personal data and then to merge it into some kind of master database to remove decades of restrictions on how it's shared and used within the government. What do they want all that data on us for? What could they be trying to do with it? What could this mean to us regular humans in our regular lives? On that point, on the last night of the 100 days, we brought in investigative reporter Julia Engwin, who has reported on data privacy and security for years and who is very good at explaining it to regular people. She wrote in the New York Times that Doge appeared to be assembling a sprawling domestic surveillance system for the Trump administration, one that could allow them to create the sine qua non, right? The hallmark desire of authoritarian regimes everywhere. A comprehensive master database with comprehensive files on every single person in the country that they can use without restriction. That is what we were talking about on that last night of the first 100 days. Keep an eye on what they're doing with all of our data, how they are expanding their surveillance powers, and what they're going to do to us with it. Well, now here we are, half a year later, and we are learning about one very specific way the Trump administration is gaining new power and control over us that they have never had before. And it is this sudden and rapid escalation in the surveillance capabilities they are buying for ICE, including technology that could allow ICE to hack into people's cell phones and see everything that person is doing without the phone's owner ever knowing that the government is in there. Even though ICE's purported jurisdiction is immigration, it's right there in the name, they are already reportedly planning to use the surveillance technology against U.S. citizens, against anyone they deem an anti-ICE extremist. You might remember earlier this year, I wasn't here just on Mondays. I was here every night of the week for the first 100 days of Donald Trump's presidency. And for the very last couple of shows of those first 100 days, I picked out a few choice topics I thought were...
Sorry, it started over. I don't know what's going on. I'm sorry. My appeal was approved, but there's like a... I won my appeal, so I'm not getting banned, but there's like a circle of death on my computer and I can't. Okay. Wait, hold on. What just happened? I'm so confused. Did I get in trouble or not? I think I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm so confused. Okay, whatever. I'm fine. Until I hear again, I'm not. We're okay. Everyone's okay. Yeah, so that is, I don't know. I just think we need to be all very cognizant of what is going on in America and the future. And like every single, and I want to be clear, because MAGA, you need to hear this, and I get it. You're in cognitive let's say there are 32 to 33% of people in America that still support Donald Trump. And when I think about logically and not being an idiot like you guys are, like what percentage of you could we even reach? I don't know. I would probably guess, let's say 20, if there's 32% that support Trump that fervently, to watch all this and still be dumbing up. Well, and I want to point out, they are being robbed, right? So there's the rich people. Let's peel off 10% or 10% people who are also somehow profiting off MAGA. So there's 22% left. Let's say probably like 18% of those people are completely in cognitive dissonance. So maybe we have 4% left. I don't know. It's hard to even say those numbers because doesn't it seem, I don't know, it just seems crazy. None of this makes any sense. I don't know. I don't know what to say. Sorry, I'm having a conversation with myself in my head. I want to show you guys something. This is real, and I don't know. I know I haven't been around, but while I'm not around, I think I still follow the news more closely than, 99% of America. Have you guys heard about this, what Fox News did? They played a video of a black woman saying things, and like it enraged all these MAGA users, and they started attacking black women on the internet, and it was all a lie. Like, I just want to be very clear that none of this is real, what I'm about to show you. Yeah, this is AI. This is not a real black woman expressing her feelings. Like, I cannot say that enough. If anyone joins this live and is confused, please help me in the comments because I'm scared to even play this. But I just want to give an example of like how dumb and crazy MAGA are. Fox Entertainment News played this. And you're like, why are you saying entertainment? Well, because I can read. I've read a lot of the, I don't want to say thousands, but let's say hundreds of lawsuits that have been brought against Fox Entertainment News, and their legal defense for why they can just blatantly lie is that they are not, in fact, a news network. They are not journalists. It is entertainment. That is how they legally, if you're ever wondering, like, why can they blatantly lie and slander? That is their legal argument. Hey, we actually, even though we're pretending we're journalists, we're entertainers doing impressions of journalists. That is the legal argument. Fox Entertainment. That's why I call them that, because that's what they say. They say we are entertainers. We've never said we were journalists. Like, it's unbelievable. So anyways, I just want to again reiterate, this is not a real video. But Fox Entertainment played it, told everyone this was real. Let me read this. Takes on how Fox News ran with a totally fake story, racist AI videos pretending to be real black women, and then quietly changed the headline instead of admitting they made a mistake.
Fox News got fooled by a series of racist AI videos or purporting to be black women complaining about losing their SNAP benefits. Even if these were real people, this is an absurd story to cover, and it's outrageous to try to like nutpick a handful of people that you think will play into the racial prejudice of your audience. Insane.
But that's, what do you mean? That is the point of Fox Entertainment, is to not report our news. Sorry, I have the hiccups because I'm so disturbed by this, I think. But to literally cherry pick anecdotal stories. This one's a complete lie, but just say, hey, a brown person unalived a white person. And it's like, yeah, that's anecdotal. It's not indicative of crime in this nation. As a matter of fact, violent crime has gone down, right? Like, it's the difference between Fox is trying to scare white people with anecdotal stories, one-off stories, versus reality, which is, yeah, crime has gone down since 2022.
Consider that and consider the news judgment on that. But the problem here is, the people aren't even real.
I'm gonna keep it real with you. I get over $2,500 a month in stamps. I sell them $2,000 worth for about $1,200 to $1,500 cash. That's why everybody's upset. Folks say we're taking advantage, but that's how we get by.
It's not like getting fooled by one of these old deep fakes that were terrible. Like these things are getting good. But like, you're a news organization, and so if you're going to do an article based on a fact that was presented by a person, you need to confirm that person exists in the world. You can't just like run with it. And one of the reasons you can't just run with it is because nowadays in 2025, the person that you're watching on your TikTok might not be a person, it might be a computer. Anyway, the new article continues. Other similar videos of women also claiming to have 7 different children and 7 fathers for them also went viral in what appeared to be AI-generated content. I do just have to correct them one more time. These are not videos of women if they're AI generated. They're fake videos. They're videos of computers. They've been conjured. They're not videos of women. Fox News got fooled by a series of...
This is real life, right? And let me just say something, because I want people to understand why this matters. Like, oh, they retracted it. Doesn't matter. It's the same way while Trump was running for president, he had contractual agreements with media, which was what? If let me tell lies over and over and over live, and you can fact check me after. And why is that? Because it doesn't matter, right? People aren't coming back to read the fact check. They hear and see what they heard, and they believe it the first time. And Trump's right in that, right? The agreement was, don't fact check me live. Don't ever fact check me. Let me tell 100 lies, and then after the fact, you can correct me. But no one listens to the corrections. And same thing with this. Hey, maybe they knew, and I would believe there's no way they didn't know, because they fact checkers at Fox News. They knew it was fake. They played it, and they're like, oops, this was fake. Or that's what, I mean, I'm sorry. That's just my personal belief. I understand how media works. I'd be unbelievably shocked to learn no one checked. Because you could end up in a lawsuit. Like, I think they knew, and then they were just like, hey, we'll just play it, and then be like, oops, after the fact. Because this is the reality of the times we live in. We are in hell. Sorry, I'm just looking for my Obama speeches. Yeah, I want to go over Cash Patel stuff, but it's not more important. So anyways, Abigail Spanberger, who's running for the governor of Virginia, and is... Wait, what? Oh, appeal approved. Sorry, I thought I got another violation. And I was like, I cannot deal with this. I'm okay. Obama was stumping for Abigail Spanberger, and I love Obama's speech. He went in.
And Lord,
I also love how he does this. So that's Abigail Spanberger. He has whoever he's stumping for sit in a chair on stage. He did the same thing in Arizona for Ruben Gallego, and then just kind of he has them sit in a chair while he's just and I'm gonna show you how it's done.
knows we need that light. We need that inspiration. Because let's face it, our country and our politics are in a pretty dark place right now. It's hard to know where to start. Because every day, this White House offers up a fresh batch of lawlessness and recklessness and mean-spiritedness and just plain craziness. We got a president who thinks it's okay to use the Justice Department to go after his political opponents. Hey, wait, don't boo. Vote. They don't hear boos, they hear votes. So we got a president who replaces career prosecutors with loyalists who will do what he wants, and now he's telling them what he wants is for them to hand over millions of taxpayer dollars that he had to pay in expenses for previously violating the law. We've got a commander-in-chief who fires decorated officers because he thinks they might be more loyal to the